faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird brain. It's a plane. It's iWalter. Yes, it's iWalter, strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. iWalter, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend ears with his annoying voice, and who disguised as Walter Interranti, mild-mannered janitor for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, nonsense, and the American way. And now, another exciting episode in the adventures of iWalter.
All right, hey, it's Walter again, and I got 15 more minutes until it's the end of Saturday the 14th, which was the name of a comedy horror movie back in the day. So, yeah, it was hard to believe yesterday was Friday the 13th. It actually went really well, though. It went very, very well. I am going to be, oh boy, I can hear some distortion because I'm keeping a very close ear on that happening. I just heard a little bit of a distortion, so I'm gonna cross my fingers. I did last night. I was up until 6 this morning because when I got home from work, I was working on trying to set up Linux on my Alienware computer, and apparently that is an issue. You know what? I'm going to turn my phone off right now, too. That could be part of it. For some reason, Apple affects my equipment, my PC equipment that I now use. But yeah, I worked on it, and then because I bought this 1 terabyte SSD hard drive. It's like second to the fastest. Apparently, like the fastest 1 terabyte you can buy is like $300. I think I paid about $99 for it. I ordered it online. It was an open box. And, wow, that line is really heavily getting distorted. I hope it doesn't affect my sound grade level. I'm praying to everyone about this. But, yeah, so here I found out that, yeah, there is a way to do a dual, make a dual boot or even run Linux. I run a program called Linux Mint, or an operating system called Linux Mint, which apparently you can get it to work, but you really got to know what you're doing to, jury rig it to work. And I'm not that intelligent, so, I mean, I'm not even close to being intelligent to begin with. But, yeah, it's pretty bad. So, I just kind of said, you know what, I'm going to throw in the towel, keep the hard drive in the machine. But that's about as far as it's going to go. I'll just use it for storing other miscellaneous junk on my computer. It just kind of pisses me off. I'm going to move my mic up a little bit, see if that helps. I need to buy a new sock for my mic, too. The one I have is very damaged at this point. Again, I'm trying to keep an eye on my levels. I have a couple stories, which is good. A couple stories. I'm calling this episode Paperwork because it's just, there's an awful lot of nonsense going on in Pennsylvania, and you have to thank Governor Wolf for this. He's, it's any way they can try to blame it on Trump, they will, but it has nothing to do with Donald Trump. With, a state of emergency. That was up to Governor Wolf, who did that. He closed everything down. And I just read at King of Prussia Mall from people complaining. It's like, okay, if Wolf made a state, claimed the state of emergency, why is the King of Prussia Mall open? So they now had successfully, through petitioning, closed down the King of Prussia Mall as of Saturday. So good luck. Congratulations, you morons. So, and it's nothing even that bad. Yeah, I mean, there was many reasons I wanted to do the podcast tonight. It was funny. I was in Drug Emporium around the corner from my house. Drug Emporium doesn't exist anymore. Walgreens, I apologize. And there was like 3 workers in there. One was a young kid. He must have been about 16 years old, and 2 ladies that were working there said, yeah, you know what, there was somebody around your age who was younger than you, younger than this kid that works at, Walgreens, trying to buy contraceptives because they have nothing else better to do. So my guess is they're probably like 13, 14-year-old kids going in there trying to buy contraceptives because they're so bored they can't do anything. All the malls are closed, all the stores are closed. They have nowhere to cause havoc. So they were trying to steal. Did I say steal? Because that's what they were trying to do. Trying to steal contraceptives, not just once, but try to do it twice the same day, like with a matter of a little bit of time in between, because they were going to try to shove them in their backpacks, they said, these women. And it's just like this one woman, she said, well, if I ever caught my kid doing that, and apparently the kid is really young because this woman wasn't that old, she said that wouldn't happen. Well, it's like, well, you have parents that are never home anymore because they have to work to keep up with everybody else. That's number one. Number two, which is really ridiculous, these kids are just pampered to death. They get everything they want. I saw the other day going to work, there was this young teenager kid driving a brand new Audi that was an ugly color of orange, and it was all pimped out. The car was all pimped out. It's like, and it was a young kid in a baseball cap in one of these developments. So, you know, these parents are so concerned to make sure their kids are their friends. They're buying them Audis now, like brand new Audis. And I expect that from kids doing this for Sweet 16 for their daughters. I mean, I worked with a young woman who, on her Sweet 16, she got, her parents gave her money to get breast implants. I'm not even joking, at my old job. But now buying, and it was a guy. That was the thing. It was a young guy. I mean, these kids, the young kids, or the boys are getting just as pampered as the women, if not even more now. And you wonder why there's so many issues around here. But one of the reasons I wanted to do this show, because it was funny, I mentioned something to a friend over and over again, and his response was like the most pathetic thing I've ever heard. I was saying to him, about like how the stupidity of the people who are going to vote against Trump, who are going to vote for whoever will be put on the ticket ballot for the Democrats. It doesn't matter who it is. They just want to get rid of Trump. And I really believe this coronavirus is another thing. If I didn't mention the name of the show, it's going to be called Paperwork, meaning toilet tissue, shit paper. It's gotten so out of hand that they really believe this whole thing is just a way to keep Trump to win the re-election or not even have election. And I said to him, right out, this is preposterous. This is ridiculous. I've never heard anything so idiotic in my life. And he never responded back. And I mentioned it like several times. He never mentioned it. So he mentioned something just as idiotic. And he says, well, what you mentioned doesn't deserve an answer, but when I mention something that's exactly the same, it does deserve an answer. So, to me, it's like, okay, so you're holier than thou. Whatever I say is just nonsense. And I mean, I've heard some pathetic conversations between this individual and some other people that have just like, are you serious? Are you a grown adult? Or are you a child who has just never learned how to grow up? Because I think we do live in a society of children. I really do. Now, the repercussion I get, the tack I'll get back is like, well, you got a bunch of dolls and you got a bunch of comic books. That has nothing to do with anything, I'm sorry to say. Well, you live at home. Who cares? I have no choice. And, you just look at everything on the surface. You don't look below the surface. You don't see what other issues might pertain to my situation. You only see what you want to see. And if I point out, well, there's other people who have every potential to better themselves, and they don't, then that's a different situation. That situation turns into, well, you don't know everything, you have it a lot better than they do. It's like, really? No, I think they have it much better than I do. And there is a few people who have absolutely nothing. I won't mention who. No family members, nobody to fall back on, and yet they're not basically being complete fools, idiots, invalids, irresponsible children by reproducing and having more children out of wedlock. I mean, none of that stuff is there. So to me, that's a big, the big H, the big word hypocrisy. You can point the finger and overanalyze my issues, my problems, which I never had any of them. I've actually been very too open with my personal life on my podcast for the past 4 years. And in case you don't know this, I believe next month, around, I think the 15th or so, which is also when I lost my other job, is my anniversary date for my podcast, too. It's hard to believe it's going to be about 4 years, I believe. I think it's about 4 years, maybe more. So that's pretty good. It's a lot better than I expected to do. So there's a lot on my plate. Not that it's going to be an hour and a half show, and I'm not going to even try to guesstimate how long it's going to be. One interest of one friend, he always wants to know what I'm going to play, which I do appreciate this. I'm not going to lie about it. I do appreciate the free music from Matt Tarns from the Music Teacher Guide. And the reason I do is because it's copyright free for me. Otherwise, I have to deal with issues of using other people's material, which I have not on my intros. My intros from pretty much day one has been something I bought and had produced for my show. The end segment generally might have to beg to differ because it could be, I try to keep it, I think you're allowed up to 15 seconds of looping music. Maybe it's less, maybe it's more. I don't know exactly. I try to look into that, and I try to figure out, okay, what is the safe amount of material can you use of somebody else's without getting in trouble? Pretty much, I guess, if I would ask Matt, because he's the music aficionado, or whatever you say, I said that incorrectly. It probably is like 0. But I think there is a thing if they take you to court that you can say, well, I didn't use enough of your material to actually make diddly squat out of it. I don't know how long that would be. So using material from, again, Matt Tarns, the music teacher guy at themusicteacherguide.com, or I'll give him another plug, Matt, Musical Intervals, I believe it's called. Musical Intervals. I know you're going to be busting me on that. I probably got that wrong. Because you have that sound clip and the thing on YouTube, which I think I bookmarked at. I just can't pull it up right now because it might cause my computer to go chaotic, and I can't afford that right now. Anyway, you can find everything on themusicteacherguide.com. You made a song that the title, even though it has nothing to do with the video game, caught my attention because you made a song named Doom. Obviously, that's going to catch my attention because I love the game, the video game Doom from like 30 years ago, so whatever it was. So at this point, I heard, like, there's people at my job that were complaining about they're closing everything down. It was like, you got to be kidding. Like, they're going to close all the supermarkets. They actually think this. They're going to close all the supermarkets down. It's like, I don't think so, but whatever. And, I mean, I've seen stranger things, so I wouldn't be surprised at the same time. The supermarkets were out of all TP, toilet paper. They were out of hand sanitizers and hand wipes. Now, that stuff I use because I have OCD. There's a big difference. But, they actually are. I went to, like, only 2 stores, but they were definitely, everything was out. Now, the funny point is, because they can't close drugstores, the drugstores, like, when I mentioned that I was in, Walgreens, they can't close. The drugstores have to stay open. So That being said, they actually said the young kid that helped me out, I was looking for some TP. He said, yeah, we do have a generic brand. It's probably not that great. And I said, you know what? It's fine. I just want to have some extra toilet paper not because of the coronavirus. It's just, again, it's my OCD part of me. So, you know what? Initially, it's pretty much the same as what I use, which we buy in the house, my parents and I, is Scott's toilet paper, the 1,000 sheet thing. So I really don't care. I like the sandpaper toilet paper. So what Walgreens does is they put their branded label over top of Scott's. They probably come out of the same warehouse, and they charge you less. So I got like 10 rolls for $5. Like, yeah, that's definitely cheaper. I pay $20 for 12 rolls of the name brand, and it's the same freaking thing. So who cares? So anyway, yeah, you got to thank Wolf, and I really think. I don't know, can I use the word conspiracy? I have no clue. But I will say this nonsense of being spread, I personally think, in my opinion, because of all this other shenanigans going on in our country and the way that this liberal left has been trying to destroy Trump, they just can't stand the man, which I don't understand why. Because I said this before, if Trump would have ran under a D instead of an R, I guarantee you the outcome on how much they hate him would be completely different. I really think that. So, they tried Russian coalition twice. They said that he had stole the election from Hillary, and she tried to fight that, I think, twice or three times. And after all the nonsense she had pulled, and that didn't work. And then they tried other things with him, not disclosing how much his wealth is or something like that. I don't know. None of that seemed to work. But this coronavirus, this seems to stick. And my opinion is it's going to continue throughout the election. If he miraculously makes it through this hurdle and gets reelected, it's not going to stop. That coronavirus is going to somehow it's going to trace back to him. And it was funny because I should pull this one up first. But there was something I saw. Oh, here we go. Rush Limbaugh. It was from Real Clear Politics. Rush Limbaugh. Remember this swine flu, which happened, by the way, under Barack Obama. And it says 60 million Americans infected. 300,000 were hospitalized. And guess what? You hear nothing about that. The swine flu. You hear nothing about it. Now, I remember I heard that live, if that's the one he was talking about last week, Rush. He said they didn't do anything until 1,000 people died. Then they tried to make a big deal out of it. And even after that, yeah, it says right here, I'm like glancing through the article, it says 60 million Americans infected, 300,000 were hospitalized with the swine flu. This was with Barack Obama. But they made him out to be like a superhero, Barack Obama. And in fact, CNN covered up the whole thing. They didn't even mention it. Like, they didn't make a big deal out of the swine flu at all, simply because it was Barack Obama. So they kind of swept it under the rug. Nobody ever said anything about this. From day one, when this coronavirus thing came about, Trump has been trying everything to just stomp this out and keep it quarantined in any way, so no more cases will come in or out of the country if there is any. And all you hear about is how he is being completely irresponsible. And when I heard that, it was like 40 cases. It was like, 40 and or it was like 50 or 40 cases in all. That was a couple days. Now they claim there's 40 cases in Pennsylvania. And the cases, all of the cases came out of a retirement community in Washington State. So it was a Democratic area. So the bottom line is, yeah, this is a very much so political issue with what's going on with Trump. It's without a doubt. And I think people are so angry that Trump actually he's in probably, it should be his fourth year because, well, maybe his third year. I think it's his third year, right? Because even if he wins or loses the election, well, I guess it would be his fourth year. It would be, January of 2021 when he would continue or the new president would take over because he gets inaugurated or, sworn in, I should say. So, yeah, but people are so angry, they're just going to try everything to make sure that Trump could not get not only reelected, but no other Republican can. That is without a doubt. So, but did you hear as much, if you ask people about the swine flu, does anybody even know what that is? Subtly, but not that much. Let's face it. That's what I want to kind of point out. All right, I think I just shut down the wrong story. It's probably not that important. Here is a funny thing I heard too. This reminds me. I was making the joke with what's going on that it reminds me of that movie Airplane, where everybody's gonna the plane's gonna go down, everybody's gonna die, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's not a big deal." This is a very serious thing. One of the engines is out on the airplane. Airplane was a comedy movie. And everybody's like, oh, well, that's not a big deal. But then they say, well, one last thing, we're all out of coffee. And all havoc breaks loose in a very comical way. So what does this have to do with the swine flu? The coronavirus. Well, now all liquor stores are now asked to be closed down, and there's a bar down the street from where I live that's also been closed down. So not all public services are now closed. I think that's hilarious because people are flipping out about it, though. Because a guy that I used to work with took a video of one of the state stores around where he lives, and people were flipping out, you couldn't even get in the door because the parking lot was so filled with cars because everybody's panicking they're never going to get alcohol again. I mean, this is crazy. This was from the Patch, Limerick Royersford City Patch. PA state wine liquor stores to close amid coronavirus outbreak. All fine wine and good spirits stores in Bucks County, Chester, Delaware, and Montgomery counties will be closed Tuesday until further notice. Hey, to me, I think that's incredible. And there's a list of every state store on this article, so I think it's hilarious. I actually, it was on Facebook. I saw it, and I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever read. It could not get any better. I might have mentioned this earlier, but there's a story also on the Patch. Valley Forge Casino shuts down over coronavirus. Has announced, the Valley Forge Casino announced that they will follow the recommendations of health officials and shut down for the next 2 weeks, which, if you look at this, it's going to be more than 2 weeks. It's going to be much more than 2 weeks, just to let you know. There was one I don't have story-wise, but I did do a screenshot for a friend, and it was my friend Todd, where the Colonial Theater it's like a small movie house that really doesn't do that much business, but they had closed down for the next 2 weeks. So, I mean, there's it's crazy that all these places now are going to be closing down. And it's not just because I have a friend of a friend. He's supposed to do, quote unquote, a gig tomorrow, and now the gig is not going to take place because I have to open up my thing. Because I don't think it's going to take place. Wait, let me step back for 1 minute. He thinks it's going to take place. A friend's supposed to do a gig over, and I said this to him, it's not going to happen. He's a drummer. Ed Rick, you tried to get a hold of him last week. He's a great drummer, but he's supposed to do a gig over at a place called Peppers over down from the King of Prussia Mall. I said, Ed, that's going to get canceled. Let me let you know right now. You're not going to be doing your gig. It's going to be canceled. No, it's not. They didn't tell me it was. Yes. So how come that every eatery and every place around here, every event is being closed down except his? I've never heard of that. I mean, that is delusional. Dude, I love you, but that is ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, you got to face up to reality, and you're not. I mean, if you're an entertainer, and this is why I try to say to Matt, Ed Rick, my friend Ed Rick, friend of a friend, you really think that life is going to go on with your business of entertainment when everything else is shut down? Rude awakening. No, it's not. It's not. I hate to spoil this for you guys, but rude awakening, yes, everything, and I do mean everything in Pennsylvania has been closed down pretty much, except the outhouses. When they lock those up, that's when I start panicking. I'm trying to look because I can't find the Colonial Theater, but they said they're going to be shut down. So I was just trying to find that thing. It's probably on their webpage. They still got, yeah, see, it still says it's open. I think I got it through an my email. I can't even say AOL. That's really bad. I can't even freaking say AOL. But, yeah, it was a thing, and it said Wolf's name. I was trying to see because I shut my phone up. I'm afraid if I turn the damn phone back on, it's just going to, who knows? They might already do that anyway. Here we go. Important notification from Colonial Theater. Dear members of the community, per guidance of Governor Wolf, beginning Sunday, March 15th, tomorrow, or it is the 15th now, the Colonial Theater will be closed for 2 weeks. As we learn more information, we will share it with the community. Thank you for your understanding while we navigate the evolving situation. May you and yours be safe and well. The Colonial Theater Board and staff. You go to the webpage, Colonial Theater is running business as normal. They got movies up and saying they are going to run. Oh, I got just one from Theater of the Living Arts, another email. At the Theater of the Living Arts, which is the TLA, we take pride in, I just got this email. We take pride in connecting music fans to artists they love and together experiencing something memorable and special. However, out of abundance of cautions, working within our local official guidelines and our obligation to provide our fans and bands a safe environment to enjoy their shows, we are postponing a number of upcoming events. So there you go. I just got that email. I just got it. So the TLA is officially shut down. All sporting events are shut down. The King of Prussia Mall, the Willow Grove Mall, the Montgomeryville Mall, the Plymouth Meeting Mall, all shut down. So, and is it really this serious? Absolutely not. Is it a little overkill? Well, that's an understatement. It is big time overkill. There is no little thing about this. So, yeah, I mean, and everything's getting postponed. Like, I had a comic book convention. It doesn't mean anything. I just wanted to go to see certain actors. And it was right down the street from my house. It was on April, the first week in April. Now it's been postponed until September. September, of all things. So, yeah, is this serious? Serious in the fact that people are idiots, but that's about as far as it goes. You know what? I think I just did something really stupid, which is not new for me. No, I didn't. Good. I thought I shut down all the stories I was going to read. God, Well, that would have been safe for everybody else, I think. Limerick, Royersford. I got a lot of these that say the patch from Royersford and Limerick. PA, Pennsylvania coronavirus cases rises to 45. 4 additional presumably positive cases of the coronavirus or COVID-19 have been confirmed in Pennsylvania. So yeah, there's 45 just in this state alone. It still does not even compare. It does not compare to what happened when we had under. I call it the Obama virus, but the one I mentioned before, when Barack Obama was in office, it does not compare. As I can't spell, I'm going to look back at my page and see what Rush had named that. Oh, God, that's funny. It says there's a picture on Facebook where a guy ties pizza as a paper mask on his face, a slice of pizza, and it says the American page, it was like the Italians fight coronavirus with putting a slice of pizza tied to their face as a paper mask. That is funny. That is funny. And I'm Italian, so I can actually like that. And actually, I do. I apologize. I got distracted for numerous reasons. But let me see if I can find really quickly my thing. Or as the people at work, they laugh when I say, because I'm the guy. But I always they go John, so I say it back. So how do you like those Johns? Anyway, God, I can't find that one on Rush. That is really weird. But whatever that virus was called, I am not finding it. And I thought I posted that story. But I think you get my point. That's the thing. That's another thing. Yeah, I do. I sound like I'm out of blank, but I'm not. I'm out of blank with something else, and I won't say what that is. I won't even mention it. It's kind of funny. This one woman I work with, she laughs when I make like stupid jokes, and one of them is, about Britney Spears, and we had months ago, we had a couple different times we had a girl named Brittany. There was a temp named Brittany where I work. So right away when I hear Brittany, I keep on thinking, because I haven't heard that name in ages, I keep on thinking of Britney Spears, and when she made that one, whatever it was, song, whatever, and she goes, "I'm Britney, bitch." So it's stuck in this one boss's mind at work, and she just starts laughing hysterically over a stupid thing I said. So, and I got all the managers though at the job who say the same damn thing, and they think it's kind of funny. And it's like, it's not that funny, but I do appreciate it. They always tell me, "Oh, you should incorporate this stuff into your podcast," which I kind of really don't. But hey, they like it, so that's what counts. So by the way, I went to, what do you call it? I went to, Britney Spears' official webpage, and lo and behold, she does have, there's a little midget guy going to drink bleach. Oh God, that's pretty bad. What was I going to say? They have T-shirts that say "It's Britney, bitch." They actually, Britney Spears makes T-shirts that actually say that. So I just think it was funny. So I don't know. I was trying to look for that virus. What was the damn name? See, that's how much people knew about the virus when, what do you call it, was in office, Barack Obama. Virus when Obama was in office. Let me see. You know what? You really can't find a damn thing on that. That's what's really weird. Because I had it from the other day. I did a search. Well, it says Ebola, but that's not the one I mentioned. It was something else. Sorry about that. I was trying to see if I could just find it from when Rush Limbaugh did say that. So, yeah, you're not going to find much about So, I'll tell you what. You just go back and you listen to the beginning of my show. You'll find out what I'm trying to conclude on. It keeps on saying about Ebola, but I think it was something else that was an issue under Ebola was one of them. So maybe there was more than one virus under Barack Obama. But I hate to say this. I'm going to look on Russia's web page here. They never made a big deal out of it. CNN especially. God, because they couldn't hurt the first African American president. There, I said it. I'm just putting in Rush Limbaugh show. I haven't gone on his page for a while. I actually personally would rather listen to Ken Matthews. That's what I've been doing lately. Like Rush, actually, fortunately, he's been back a lot, so that actually, that's been actually pretty cool. It's just, for some reason, you know what? When you listen to somebody for so long, even Howard Stern back years ago, I used to listen to him all the time, you kind of get to the point that you get tired of it. So, and you need something. I mean, Matt's going to say, oh, see, I told you that it's going to happen to you. And I actually stopped even buying his, yearly subscription to his show. Not that I don't like Rush Limbaugh anymore. It's just I needed something a little bit different. So, whatever I said, I'll find it, and probably in the next podcast, I'll try to find the name of that other virus. But you get the point. I mean, if I can't find a damn thing on when Barack Obama was in office and about the coronavirus, not the coronavirus, the virus that was in when he was in office, do I need to say more? Let me leave it at that. Actually, it was funny because I'm looking at Rush's main page, and I think I did hear him talk about this, but he's a big Apple fan, so he's been a fanboy for years. So he has posted on his main page, WWDC will go on, meaning that's the Apple big announcement, what's coming out later this year. It's like their biggest event, and it's coming up. And it's basically, he posts, Rush did, they are not shutting down their business. Kudos to Tim Cook. Apple will not be buckling due to this coronavirus thing. What we're going to delay is ISO 14. So that's pretty cool. You know what? Speaking, folks, about this, do you know, I was actually shocked. I really didn't care, but I was actually pleased. Bill Gates is stepping down from his office position. So he's no longer going to be in the top honcho in the Microsoft world. And honestly, I couldn't be more happy about that. So I was really pleased to hear about that. You know what? I saw this story too. What am I at? God, I can always seem to talk for hours. It was conservative fighters. There was a story I found. It was called, it's titled News. Hunter Biden says coronavirus is keeping him from attending child support deposition. So Hunter Biden lawyers told at Arkansas judge of on Tuesday that he is unable to attend a child support deposition scheduled for this week due to the coronavirus and his pregnant wife's intimate due date. Is it Arkansas? You know what? It's weird how Arkansas is spelled. I think that's what it is, but that's where he's supposed to be. I don't know. The guy's such an idiot anyway. Yeah, this was pretty weird, by the way. I might actually end this show pretty early tonight because I just don't have any any energy at this point. I'll see, but I'll probably end it a little early, and nobody really cares, so that's even better. Matt, you can listen to your song a little bit earlier. One charge for Chesapeake bomb. It looks like Chesapeake bomb threat that led to coronavirus exposure. And as a mugshot of the person who did it, a 20-year-old, Asia Tucker is the woman's name, an employee at a senior living facility in Chester County called in a multiple bomb threats, and threatened to shoot the staff, the DA had mentioned. Westchester, PA. So I have a story on that. I really hate reading stories. I've said this a million times. And you know the reason why I don't want to read stories is because I suck at it. And plus, I don't know how this podcast is going to turn out. I mean, I might have, because that one was just god-awful. It sounded like it was pretty much like submerged underwater. And I try to avoid that happening if I can. I'm going to, I try to avoid stuff like that. And the best way to do that is not to talk so long, because otherwise you have iWalter underwater. So that's not cool. And that being said, that might be the end of my show tonight. I'm trying to think if there was anything else, because you know what? I'll end up ending the show, and it's like, you know what? I did forget something. And I try not to. Oh, somebody put up some pictures of Jodie in that one film. You can't understand what she's saying. Adult Life Skills. That's a great movie, by the way. Oh, hey, this is pretty weird. I just saw this now. I am done my show, just to let you know. Montgomery County driver's license centers closed over coronavirus. Hey, that's great. There's going to be less illegals being able to get their, their PA photo IDs. I'm sorry, guys, ladies, who want to come in here and, basically be able to obtain a driver's license, even though you shouldn't be in this country. So I apologize about this heartache and bad situation. Maybe you could go back to your own country or something like that. So, you know what, folks, I'm going to play right now Matt's Song of Doom. Hope you enjoyed my show. And hopefully there's not all this wishy-washy. Sounds like I just got dumped into the middle of the center of Atlantic Ocean with it sounding that bad. I don't know. I'll find out. Have a good night. Have a good whatever. Because I don't know when I'll be back. I say this every time, but I don't know. It's Walter signing off.